blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Hello, beautiful ones, and welcome back to Moments with Myra. I'm so excited about today's conversation because we're diving into something that has the power to change your life, journaling. My special guest is Dr. Salina Womack. I love her, an incredible author, medical doctor, and advocate for personal growth. She knows firsthand how the simple act of putting pen to paper can help us heal, find clarity, and even unlock the author within. Whether you've been journaling for years or you're just curious about how to start, today's episode will leave you inspired and equipped with practical steps to using journaling as a tool for both self-discovery and storytelling. So let's jump in. Welcome, Dr. Womack. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I have no complaints. Excited to be able to do a deep dive in this conversation.
Good. Well, I appreciate you being here and for joining me today. Now, for those who may not know you yet, can you share a little bit about who you are and what inspired your journey into journaling and authorship?
Wow, that's a lot. Actually it's not. So when I was 11 years old, I started journaling in general. I think I remember actually going to a dollar store, and they had the journals for like a dollar.
Mm.
And so I bought one, and that was my first journal. So that's what got me started in journaling. So I would just put in like what happened that day, who I liked, who I didn't like. But for the most part, it started the process.
So, what first drew you into journaling personally in the first place? Was there a particular thing? Because I know when I was in school, around about 11 or so, they started us to do it in school. And then I just found when outside of class, I just liked to write and I enjoyed doing it. So, what made you start it and then like stick with it?
Of course, in like the fifth and sixth grade, like you start learning how to write essays and things like that, and maybe some sonnets or poems. Um, I don't know that there's anything specific that sparked it, but I do remember just from more of a tumultuous childhood standpoint that I was kind of like a middle child, and I had older sisters, and then I had younger siblings, and I was more of a bookworm. So I did a lot of reading, and I kind of kept to myself a lot. So it gave me an outlet during that time to just like have, and I had friends, of course, but it just gave me like a different sense of personal space in a house full of eight kids. So I had eight siblings. It was eight total of all of us growing up. So it gave me my own sense of like my own space.
Gotcha. So, in your experience, what makes journaling such a powerful tool for mental, emotional, or even spiritual growth?
Um, I think that is a powerful tool. I think sometimes, especially when we start in the beginning, we don't realize how helpful it is for us. But over the course of my life from 11, I just turned 40 this year, it transitioned into more of a tool and versus just like a venting session or a recount of the day before. So it's turned into more of okay, this is what happened today. Let me think about what that meant for me, and let me see how maybe I can approach it better tomorrow. So especially if it's the same. And also journaling can help us identify some areas that we need to work on individually, like that maybe we're repeating a pattern that we didn't know. So it allows us to have the ability to see more clearly what we're doing in our lives. So especially when you go back and read it. Because now I go back and I read my journal from 11 years old, and I'm like, oh my God, who is this person? So, yeah. So reflection.
I like that reflection. And also, too, in some ways, kind of holding yourself accountable to
Oh, yeah.
sometimes, too. So, can you share a specific moment where journaling brought you clarity or healing in your own life?
Oh my God, there's been so many areas. I would probably say mainly, I'm sure with women, we can probably all agree that it's when it comes to dealing with men. And I hate to say that I'm getting this lesson so much later in life, but I remember a couple of years ago, because I do this maybe every couple of years. A couple of years ago, I went back to like my journal when I was like 11 and 13 and 15, and in that I was always in love with like the unattainable guy, or the guy that I thought was unattainable. And every other week I was in love with somebody different. um so I had a crush on, let me rephrase it, I had a crush on, and I'd be like, oh, he was so dreamy, and I seen him across the hall, and I really, and now when I look back, it's so funny because I look, maybe I might run into the same person, and I'll think, what was I thinking? So it allowed for me to realize that sometimes we allow our own ideas of who we think we should be with to cloud our judgment on who is really the healthier choice for where we are in our space.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
reflection when it comes to that. Yeah. Right.
So, for someone brand new who feels stuck looking at a blank page, what's a simple way to get started?
Well, words of affirmation are always a really good start. So I am beautiful, I'm fierce, I'm brave, I'm confident. And then words of thankfulness. I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for air. I'm thankful for the sun. And if you can't be thankful for stuff like in your immediate life, then maybe you're just thankful because the sun came up this morning. Maybe you're thankful for being able to walk to the bathroom. Some people can't do that. So those are really easy ways to get started. But then a more advanced way is, you can kind of detail maybe some things that you want to work on that day. So maybe you're short tempered with your kids and you're like, okay, I want to be more patient. What does that look like for you being more patient? Um, Perhaps you need to take some time for yourself and you identify what that is. You make three goals and say, okay, today I just want to go walking for 5 minutes, 10 minutes in nature, or maybe go get your toes done or go get your nails done, or any of those things can definitely be a good start.
Do you recommend any particular styles like gratitude journaling, free writing, or prompts?
Everybody's different, so it's gonna change depending on that particular person and what feels right for them. And sometimes the style of writing is going to change based on where you are in your life.
Mhm.
So maybe today it's, I can't even do free writing, like I don't have the capacity mentally to do it. So maybe it's just saying, I am just grateful that I woke up this morning. Maybe the next day you're feeling very thoughtful and you want to do some free writing, like, whenever I woke up this morning, I was feeling really thoughtful and I thought that I'd write this down and this is what happened and this is what I'm thinking about. So it just depends on the day. It depends on how you're feeling and how much time you have. So,
Perfect. So, how did journaling influence your path to becoming an author?
oh, so I've always been an avid reader. And back in 2018, I read a book called What Would You Do If You Had 30 Days to Live? And so I read the first chapter, and the first part of it said that I had to tell someone what my goals would be in that 30 days. And so that's what I did. I called my best friend. I said, hey, I'm going to inspire people, because that was my goal, to inspire as many people as I could in 30 days. And she was like, we have this kind of like, she says right, I say left. And so she was like, well, how are you going to do that? I said, well, I don't know. I'll write a book. And so I actually wrote my book in 2 weeks. And so it's called An Ex-Wife Journey from Darkness to Light. And the whole hello.
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. It's called An Ex-Wife Journey from Darkness to Light. And it basically, it was a place in my life to I journaled a lot. And so I took the journaling that I did and I basically turned them into chapters. And so, because whenever someone is wanting to be an author, words turn into sentences, sentences turn into paragraphs, paragraph turns into pages, and pages turn into chapters, and all of that creates a book. So I took my journal during that time and I actually wrote it, and it was more so geared towards people going through difficult times, especially single parenting. and how difficult that can be. But you're not alone in that journey because so many of us have had that experience.
So many people dream of writing a book but don't know where to begin. How can journaling help them uncover their voice and story? Like, so how would you narrow it down to like, okay, I'm going to focus on this and the book will maybe be about this or along those lines?
Well, the first question would be, do you want it to be a fiction or nonfiction? So do you want it to be fake or real? Do you want it to be about you or about someone else? Do you want it to be a self-help book? Or do you want it to be like a culmination of short stories? So that's a good place to start. So if you're doing journaling, that can always turn into short stories. I actually use an app and I've used it for the last 7 years called Living Writer. And what it does is it says, okay, do you want to write a biography, fiction, or do you want to write like a biopic? And it helps you to structure what that looks like. It gives you goals, so word counts of the day. You can hover over the word count and it'll tell you how many words you have for the whole book, the total count. And so I would recommend starting there. But journaling can help if you don't really feel like you um, have the context of what you want to put down. So it can help to narrow that down. So you can do journaling. So this is a good example. If you do journaling for, say, a couple of weeks and you say, man, this was just about my life. That's a good basis for a start of a story or a start, middle, and end of a story, because you can just take and just plug in stuff. So if you want to keep that fake, keep it fake. Just embellish those things and just go into different scenes and takes. But that's a good way to get started, is just deciding what type of story you want to put out there. If you want it to be yours, if you want it to be fake. And some people have great imaginations.
So how would you handle the vulnerability of sharing pieces of yourself that may have started in private journals?
Ooh, I'm dealing with that right now, actually. So I have published 3 books so far, and my 4th book, I'm actually really hesitant to publish because there's a lot of personal information. And being in my profession, having my own medical practice and being a doctor, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm ready to be that vulnerable. I don't know if I'll ever be ready to kind of like show some of those areas that I was, deficient in for so long. Like I just didn't take control of my life in that way. So I would say someone gave me this advice. They said what you do is, if it's a very like risque part or very vulnerable part, is that you print that out and you give it to 3 of your friends and let them read it, and then let them give you some feedback and say, hey, that's way too much. Or to say, like, you have a dialogue with someone that you trust, and that'll help the decision. And it'll also help you to stand behind that decision as well.
I like that. So what challenges did you face on your journey as an author, and how did journaling help you overcome them?
Hmm. What challenges did I face as an author? So one of the biggest challenges I think that I probably faced was finding an editor. Um, I kind of I didn't want to just put something out that was subpar, and so because of that, I did find an editor. He has since passed away. He was an older gentleman, and he just, he was older. It's probably like 80, 80 years old. And he just did it. It was a passion of the heart. Actually, the character in my first book, Lawrence, was his name, because apparently I wasn't my imagination wasn't as good to be able to come up with an actual name for my character. And so this is a good example of being maybe hesitant to put out something that's so transparent. Or so my original book was actually in the first person. I did this, she did that, right? And so I did this, like it was me. But when my editor read it, he was like, hey, are you sure you want to put that out there? Like, your son's gonna read this one, he might read it one day. Like, and so he made the suggestion to change it into the third person. So I changed my character to Samantha. So although it's based on a true story, all of the things are pretty much real. Um he was the one who kind of coached me into changing it. And so I think that one of the biggest benefits of that is having a professional who knows how to structure it maybe a little bit better so that you can put out a better product. If you want to do that. If not, then you can always just write it out. You can get someone to edit it, just kind of like word edit, making sure that the punctuation is good, that the narration is okay, and then you can upload it yourself to Amazon Kindle. It's free, so it essentially that's how I do it. I'm considered a self-published author, so I don't have like a publishing company specifically. So Kindle self-publishing is what I use.
So, what do you use to keep your creativity and inspiration alive as a writer?
I think I've always been a creative person. And so for me, it's not work, it's not a job. It's actually if I'm taking time away from, like if I'm not at work or once my mind is clear of all stress and life stuff, and like if it's clear, then that's my free time. That's my pleasure. That's the thing that I love to do. So I'll go to the beach intentionally just to write. So like it's fun for me.
I like that. What would you say to someone who doubts that their story is worth writing down or sharing?
You know what? If you have doubts that it's not worth writing or worth sharing, I would say write it down anyways. You don't have to share it, just write it down anyways. And if you ever get the hankering to actually put it out there, all you have to do is you can send it over to an editor and say, hey, what do you think? Can you help me with it? Because sometimes it's not it's more so whether or not it's good enough. I think people doubt like whether or not what they have is good enough. And
Mhm.
here's the thing, there are millions and billions of books in the world. There can be a million and billion one. So just add to it, and you never know who you're going to help. You never know who's going to read it, and you never know how that might be able to help someone. Even if it's a fiction and you don't think that it's worth it, fiction allows people to escape.
Mm.
It allows them to escape their reality. It allows for them to take a deep dive in your imagination. And that is like I love escaping into fiction. So even if it's not a journaling story, if it's not something that's personal, even if it's a fiction, it's something that you're passionate about, put it out there. So you never know.
If listeners could commit just 5 minutes a day to journaling, what difference do you believe it can make in their lives?
It depends on what's important. So if they're only going to do about 5 minutes, which trust me, I probably do less than that. I probably do like 1 to 2 minutes. Even if they do just 5 minutes, they just think about what area they want to work on. Like for me, I think right now I just want to work on. I'm really good with time management, but I want to work on quality time management. So there's two differences, and so just identifying like okay, I have time to do this. I have time to do that. And then after that, that's my quality time with myself or to do other things. So identify what's important, journal why it's important and what you're going to do to make that a priority. And that 5 minutes will be life changing.
Can you share one journaling prompt to help people start uncovering the book inside of them, if there is?
Ooh, a journaling prompt to
Mhm.
help. So I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a journaling prompt specifically. I would say that it is more of start with the story. Whatever story's in there, whether or not it's your story and you want to do like a bio about yourself, about your life, maybe you've had some challenges that you feel like can help someone else. Start with the beginning. When I was walking around in diapers, I fell and I got up, and that's what matters the most. Like, even just that is encouraging to someone who is like struggling with something,
Yeah.
struggling with baby steps. It could just be maybe there's a pivotal time in someone's life to where they're like, man, I remember when I was 11 and my dad walked out on me and I didn't know how to handle it. And going through that emotional journey and how that may have molded them as an adult. So, okay, maybe it's a man and he's like, and I realized I wanted to be the best dad I could be. And now he has kids. And so then there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Maybe the beginning is during that time when dad walked out. The middle is learning how to navigate being a teenager and dating and all that stuff. And the end is I'm married or I'm raising my kids or whatever the case may be. Like there is a story, there's a lesson in any story. So
And I like the fact that you bring up that everybody has a story. There's
everybody has a story.
and everybody has a story. So as we're preparing to start wrapping up our conversation, please give information on your books and where they can be found.
So all of my books are on Amazon. You can order them through Amazon. So that's all three of them. I promise the fourth one I'm going to finish by the end of the year. So that was actually one of my goals. I never mentioned that. My goal was to write a book every year. And so far up to this point, I have done that. Although some of them may not have been published yet, just because I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I'm brave enough. I know I'm brave enough, but I'm just wanting to make sure that it's right. But so I'm on Amazon. You just type in Salina Womack and then all of my books pop up. I would say my most recent one actually is Is Life Leaving You or Are You Living Life? And basically it is a deep dive into the body mind spirit connection and how acknowledging maybe the things that you might need on a particular day is going to help you be a better version of yourself. So keeping in mind that our body is our vessel, our mind is the captain, and our spirit is the compass. So we have to listen to our spirit. So whenever we're talking about writing, journaling, you have to give voice to you have to give voice to what God has given you to give voice to. And you'll know what that is. Like it'll be that thing that pulls at you that you can't let go. You keep thinking about it. You keep wondering, should you do it? If you're wondering, should you do it? Yes, you should. So
Absolutely. So what final words of encouragement would you like to leave for aspiring writers?
I think that last one was pretty good. So,
You were going to say that.
it's like Nike, just do it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. What an amazing conversation we have had with Dr. Salina Womack. I hope you're walking away with fresh inspiration to grab your journal, start writing, and maybe even begin uncovering the book inside of you. Remember, journaling is not about perfection, it's about expression. Just a few minutes a day can help you process your thoughts, set your intentions, and create space for your story to come alive. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend, subscribe to the podcast, and leave a review. And don't forget to follow Dr. Womack to keep up with all of the incredible work that she's doing. Before I say my final thought, website or any other information, honey, that you want to give?
I do have a YouTube. It's just Salina Womack, and it's more geared towards my medical practice. But I'll get better at posting on there.
Okay.
So maybe this will be the spark to get me started back.
Add that too. So until next time, this is Moments with Myra. Keep journaling, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of your story. Have a great evening.
Yeah, Sean, man. Hey, look. I just take it one day at a time. Can't be focused on the shine. Gotta focus my mind on staying humble through my grind. Investing my time, getting closer to God in His word till I'm flying over anything that tried to separate me from God. Man, I'm getting through that. Thought you knew that. Anyone trying to crucify me, thank you, Judas. You only push me to my destiny. I'm never losing. Cruising all through the city on a sunny day. Hat low, black shades block the sun rays. Me and my ladies gon' have a good day. That's my wifey and baby girls, the angels in my face. That's why I thank God every day that I'm waking up. All these blessings I've been receiving, cannot make that up. Hard times they may come, but I'm never giving up. My power come from within, I'm connected to life be going fast like the interstate. Like the interstate. Hey, with my dreams, I'm in a head-on collision. I won't swerve, I'ma keep it straight. Yeah, I'ma keep it straight. 100 if they do it, don't listen, cause God elevate my faith above any situation that I face, because life can be a struggle any given day. Just gotta believe there's a better day coming. What? Whatever you working toward, keep working for it. A dream's only a dream when there's no work involved. And put your heart and mind inside the hands of God, cause he will never let you fail when his plans evolve. Gotta remind myself daily that I got greatness on the inside of me. It's forthcoming like a prophecy, and knowing that God is a bridge over where troubled waters be raging, but he helped me get over without aborting these dreams that I got, visions that I see. Me and my brothers in EMG like a symphony, moving together on stage, and we finna be on top of the world, giving glory up to G.O.D. I miss my brother, but yet holding on to family. I could do better as a brother and an uncle, but I'm praying that God touch my soul and change me to a better me. Praying for better days. Life be going fast like the interstate, like the interstate. And with my dreams, I'm in the head-on collision. I won't swerve, I'ma keep it straight. Yeah, I'ma keep it straight. 100 if they do it, don't listen, cause God elevate my faith above any situation that I face, because life can be a struggle any given day. Hey, just gotta believe there's a better day, because life be going fast like the interstate. Hey, like the interstate. Hey, with my dreams, I'm in the head-on collision. I won't swerve, I'ma keep it straight. Yeah, I'ma keep it straight. 100 if they do it, don't listen, cause God elevate my faith above any situation that I face, because life can be a struggle any given day. Hey, just gotta believe there's a better day. Hey, coming, what? Hey, seriously though, coming, man. Yeah, you just gotta believe, man, it's a better day coming, yo. Stuff ain't always gonna be matched up the way you want it to be. Yeah, but that's just the struggle of life. It's the reason we got prayer for. We can't get through it on our own. Trust God, man. Love y'all.